like now parking car into your thing. And most of the duration of actually people visiting Panjim was about half an hour. You were shopping. So it wouldn't really make sense to have these multi-story car parks in the city. Possibly it makes sense to actually take them off the city and park the complex and then allow them to actually move through the city, into the city through whatever the public transport system that might be moving. So we realize Panjim actually has a great potential, especially 18 June Road as the first sort of model for intervention in India. All over the world, as I said, people have done it extremely successfully. There's a concept in Europe, in fact, it's called slow cities, where they actually introduce these methods of actually slowing down the way people move through a city. And this has tremendously benefited the quality of the city. The introduction of safe ways of cycling. Just introducing cycles isn't enough. You have to make it safe for people. You need to create a cycle lane. You need to make it protect them from actually faster traffic. And the moment you make it safe, it gets encouraged. In India, there's been an example in Ahmedabad, a very successful example in CJ Road, which is one of the most congested roads of the city. And we actually created these separate lanes, which you can actually have even cycling taking place. There are very specific parking areas created. And the commercial value of all the shops on this street have increased tremendously because people are now slowed down actually to appreciate the city, have a parking which is far more well worked out and far more intense in terms of its density. In the same city, there's another exercise taking place using the waterfront actually to create a new commercial front and a new public face as well. If you look at Panjim, the slides on the right are Panjim, the slides on the left are a city in Europe. And you can see the similarities and the potential that we have. They're extremely similar, and it's all a question of just improving the urban fabric a little and, of course, cleaning up a lot. That's our riverfront, and that's what it could be. Panjim has the potential to change. A little bit about ourselves. As an architectural firm, we've been working, as I said, pro bono actually for the city on various aspects. As a design firm, we've designed street furniture, prefab systems. We actually work with lightweight prefab systems for these toilets. So we made a number of these proposals. We're working on with electric vehicles. The prototype which is ready. We're working on cycling methods. We're working on actually creating rickshaws. This we're actually doing for a Jaipur NGO to empower people. We're making these as electric assist. Because right now there are these mafia almost that actually own these rickshaws. And we want to free them from the actual ownership of. So here they'll be microfinanced. All these rickshaws are electric assist, so it's not a great effort on the pedestrian. On the sort of rickshaw rider. That's the prototype actually. Ready. We're working with garbage collection systems to actually create. Right now you have these lamanis, gypsies actually move around the city, and the limit to carry sort of garbage is limited by the sack they can carry. So in this way, we actually hope to allow them to carry and sorted garbage as well, so they can actually segregate it completely, and you give them the dignity to actually collect this again electric system. And of course, little fun vehicles, which to encourage this whole issue of cycling and pedestrianization as well. We're working on composting. That's a composting station which we intend to put in schools. It's a fun thing which you actually swing around, so you can actually put the garbage inside, so kids can just turn it on, which also speeds up the whole composting process. That's of course the design of it. And we're working in a big way in transportation. The Skybus, at least the cabin itself, was designed in our office. This was supposed to be an inter-town sort of transport system. Of course, nationally we're working on the bodies for the trains. But we strongly believe in actually having a stronger social agenda to it. So we work with NGOs. The top one is called Danish NGO for the moving school, in which we've designed the school which is meant for migrant labor. The construction workers basically are shifting from side to side. So these schools actually, they can pack up completely. They can be towed by a tractor and taken to various construction sites and where kids can learn. Lower model is actually a low-cost ambulance thing, which we prefab everything. You can actually use existing chassis of vehicles. Everything slips on. It won't cost as much as the dishonorable health ministers, 1 crore mobile hospitals. So Panjim has tremendous potential. Over the years, we've done actually a lot of traffic studies, open space studies of the actual land use patterns, and the heritage buildings of the city. It has tremendous potential to actually to make a difference. And I was extremely happy that this collaboration as a twin city could take place, because we've been looking for a great deal of time at some sort of catalyst for the spur sport. So that briefly is Panjim. Thank you.
Actual video that I clicked on my way to Panjim a month ago, and it actually starts with a big flame. Nobody wants to do anything until a problem becomes that evident that something has to be done. And on my way to Panjim, I saw this about 3 kilometers away, wondering what this was, until I saw this huge flame there. And nobody knew what had happened and how it happened, but it actually got everybody's attention. There were people actually there wondering who lit fire, but nobody knew what to do. And that's exactly how the Panjim story started. Every city starts with putting out bins everywhere, and this is how most of Goa started out, with bins like this. Over the years, they realized that was very difficult to work with, so they improved them to having metal bins. And over the years, they moved from there to plastic bins, which were put out into the city. I'm talking about the last 20 years in Panjim. Finally, what happened was they realized that the whole system needed to change. So they kind of started improving their trucks. It was still very difficult, though the bins had changed. The waste stayed the same, the trucks stayed the same. So they improved that as well. But eventually what happens is this garbage has to be put somewhere. And this is not just with respect to Panjim, it's respect to everywhere in the world. You take that garbage, you need to put it somewhere. So they realized very soon that somewhere was running out. They had this place called Kurka, which is about 14 kilometers outside the city. And then when that site got full, and it was physically not possible to put it, then they woke up to the problem and realized that the bin is not the problem. Dealing with the garbage was. So you have one bin like that, and you have garbage piling up. Where do you take all this garbage? So this is what Panjim woke up to in 2005. And actually today Panjim is a case study for many places, because it's one of the few cities that did something about the garbage problem. But unfortunately,